Hey guys, welcome back to All Houseplants. My name is Stephanie. Today I have for you a Christmas Winter 2022 houseplant tour. I had not planned on filming one of these actually, but one of my viewers did ask for one. So, I did decorate the house, and I can also show you what the houseplants are doing. I can give you a couple of updates. I know I've mentioned in other videos that because winter is so dark here in Ohio, I pile all the houseplants toward the windows so they can get enough light. So I can kind of show you what I do in the wintertime to help the plants along and make sure that they're doing okay. As many of you probably already know, caring for houseplants in the wintertime is not an easy task, especially if you live in a cold climate like I do. So we can go through the house, look at everything, look at some Christmas decorations, and we'll talk about what the plants are doing. All right, guys, as always, we will start in my bedroom. We're gonna turn a light on. As you can see, it's pretty dark in here. This is 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And that's what the sky looks like, and it'll be like this all year, or all winter rather. So let's turn on a light so you can see a little bit. That's better. Alrighty, so we'll start over here. Again, this is my Spathiphyllum sensation, or sensation peace lily. This plant is doing great. Been putting out really big leaves despite it being wintertime, and it's really been taken to this south facing window. This leaf is a little smaller. You can see it's a new one. Still has a new leaf coming out, but this one's a relatively new one too. But overall doing very well in this corner here. Then I did switch my Calathea orbifolia over here. This plant was starting to get leggy. And you see how tightly packed these leaves are, and now these leaves are starting to have longer stems. So the plant is starting to get leggy because it's not getting enough light. So the leaves are still a pretty good size, but they are smaller than the older leaves. And like I said, the stems are getting longer and the leaves are getting smaller, so that means not enough light. So all I can really do for that right now is to put it in this sunnier location. That's right by the south-facing window here. But otherwise, the plant is doing well. Up here, we have some Christmas decorations. These are my nutcrackers and my deer and my tiny little doggies that look just like Barlow and Lizzie. They were Christmas ornaments, but I like them just as little figurines. And this pretty little table runner that I kind of folded up. Anyway, back to the plants. So here is my Platinum Mist Peace Lily. And this plant, unfortunately, is struggling a little bit. See how the new growth is small? This is a new leaf compared to this leaf, compared to this old leaf down here. See how big this leaf is and how light colored? This got more sun. These are not getting enough sun. And it is blooming, so that's a good thing. And this leaf is really thin, like slender instead of wide. So that's how you know overall the plant isn't getting enough light. So I did put it over here, and this little spot does get direct morning sun. So we'll work on that. But otherwise it's doing okay. And over here we have my Neanthobella palm, which is doing lovely in its new spot in this north facing window with eastern exposure from that window over there. And this plant's getting nice and big. This is a new frond. This is actually about face height for me, this guy. So doing well. And if you saw in the short that I posted, it's blooming. So here's the spent bloom stalk. Now this is another flower spike, I guess you would call it. With the little flowers or berries or whatever these are on it. And back in here is another one. And back in here, this is a brand new one. See, they're just starting to form. So these are all over the place. Oh, and down here, excuse me, and down here, this one's just starting to form up too. Okay. So you guys, that is what a blooming Neanthobella palm looks like, okay? So again, that's the Neanthobella palm. And I have this little reindeer guy over here keeping him company. And he kind of plugs in and lights up. And we have Thaumatophyllum sprucianum, previously known as Philodendron goldii. And this plant is doing well. It's a nice, a more mature leaf, but smaller. Again, so that means what it would really like is a little more light. So look how big this leaf is compared to this newest one. And you know, that's wintertime. All right, moving on. Dracaena Marley. If you'll remember, I got this from my Tennessee trip, and this plant is doing just fine. No issues at all. And I love it. And it's lovely and I love it. Then this is my Cebu Blue Pothos that normally lives on the dresser over there. And it's just over here getting some light. And next to it is my Lady Palm, who's also doing fine. Actually is putting out a new frond right there. And Monstera adansoni, also over here in the corner getting some light. This is my variegated peace lily. Now, I'm not sure if this is a sensation peace lily, a variegated sensation peace lily. I just saw it as, honestly, it didn't have a label at all. So I don't know what was up with it. So I bought 3 of them and I stuck them all in this pot and they all seem to be doing fine. Again, no light. So look how big the older leaves are and look at how small the newer leaves are. So everything right now is just suffering from not a lot of winter light, you know, it happens. So these are stunning and I love them. If any of you guys know what this is, what kind of peace lily or what the official variegation name is, let me know, because I don't know. This is a Aglaonema, was supposed to be a Siam white pearl, but I'm pretty sure it's like a white Dalmatian or a spring snow or first diamond. I don't know, I'm just holding on to it. Then we have my Chameleon ZZ. I love this plant. Absolutely adore this plant. One of my favorites. And right here I have my Ficus religiosa, or Bodhi or Bodhi tree, or Buddha's tree. This was the tree under which Buddha found enlightenment, I believe. Somebody correct me if I don't have that correct, because obviously, you know, I don't want to be wrong about that. It dropped all of its leaves, but it's sprouting new branches. It's sprouting new leaves. It seems to be reacclimating nicely. Oh, okay, just dropped another leaf. So, still dropping leaves, still forming leaves, still dropping leaves. So, kind of struggling with this guy, but it's brand new. And sometimes ficus just have to go through this, and then they're okay. I have my spider plant that normally sits on the mantle. It's this big guy right here. In the corner is my Song of India, or Dracaena reflexa. And over here are my pair of Aglaonema jubilees, and these were previously sitting next to my dresser where the Platinum Mist Peace Lily and the Calathea orbifolia are now. I think these will tolerate the lower light a little better. So they're over here by the fireplace. And then on the fireplace, I have some Christmas stuff set up. So I have my horse picture that I usually have, and I have these couple of deer and some sparkly trees. And this kind of snowy, glittery garland. And then some more glittery trees and a glittery Christmas tree. Oops, and a tag. Oh, I never took the tag off. Embarrassing. Oops. Oh well. I'll get to him eventually. So that's the Christmas decorating in my room. Okay, then we have my plant shelf, where I have my lovely but troublesome Schefflera Nova. I have done nothing but struggle with this plant. Unfortunately, it had spider mites, then it had scale, then it had scale again and again. I ended up changing all the soil. Now I have systemic pesticide in it here, and I think it's working. I haven't seen any more like leaking sap, and it's given me a couple of new leaves. My goodness, this one looks awful. You know what, that might have been the leaf that was new when I took it completely out of the dirt and cleaned off all the roots. But yeah, that leaf is very sad. But yeah, I mean, it's looking better, I guess. I don't know, it wasn't a cheap plant. It was the most money I'd ever spent on a plant. And I'm just kind of sad about it, kind of bummed. I just hope it gets better and it starts to thrive here, because this was one of my like must-have dream plants. And sitting next to it is my other must-have dream plant. This is my variegated fiddle-leaf fig, which is not a variegated rubber plant. So this is a variegated Ficus elastica. This is a variegated Ficus lyrata. Rubber tree, fiddle-leaf fig. So same color, different leaf shape. And you can see it has sunburn, it has brown edges from uneven watering. I had higher hopes for it. I have been struggling with this plant a bit, but we're just gonna keep at it because I love it. Under here, I have another lady palm who's doing fine. I have a Anthurium podophyllum. Now you can see this guy was leaning toward the light. See how all the leaves are starting to lean in this direction? So I've had to start turning him. So he's wanting more light as well. So that's why we have him over here, you know, kind of right there in the window. Black pagoda lipstick plant who's doing all right, hanging in there. Down here we have a variegated lipstick plant who's doing fantastic. I have a Primulina young Fuensis. So he's doing all right, doing better. My Hoya Polynura doing okay over here. Oh, wonder what this is about. What's this yellow stem? I don't know what that's all about. That's not ideal. And some yellow spots on the leaves. So I took a moment to check it for spider mites because I have really struggled with that before. I think it just really needed water, so I went ahead and watered the boogers out of it. So let's see if that helps. Down here, Aglaonema white rain. This is a Dracaena godseffiana. This Hoya callistophylla is doing fantastic. These are brand new leaves, and they're looking great, and this little runner guy is doing good, and he's going all over the place and making friends with this lipstick plant. So Hoya callistophylla doing great. Okay. All right, guys, let's, oh, my bad. Almost forgot about this guy. So this is Ficus elastica Taneki, and he's over my head again. My head's about here, so he's up here and doing good. Nothing, knock on wood, nothing wrong with this plant at all. Enjoying the spot, loving the direct light. Again, struggling with low light issues for wintertime. Look at the size of this leaf, and then look at the size of this newest leaf. How small it is comparatively to the one before it. And you know, these are like that too. This leaf versus this one. And that's just wintertime, guys. That's just wintertime. I mean, I could hang grow lights, but that is just not the kind of houseplant keeping that I want to do. So, you know, I think it's important to make sure that you like what you got going on. One last look. Oh, and my faux fur bedspread. That's for winter, nice and fluffy. Okay, let's go look in the kitchen. Okay guys, into the kitchen. And we have some Christmas lights up here, Christmas lighting up here, but let's get some actual lights since it's so dark. There we go. And it's 4 o'clock, so you know that's what it's like in the wintertime here. So this is over by this cabinet with my glasses and glassware and stuff. A cutting of Aglaonema Jubilee. This is Aglaonema Peach Cochin that I got on Facebook. Aglaonema Frosted Ghost that I also got on Facebook is a couple of cuttings, and it's rooting in nicely. Aglaonema Sparkling Sarah. And Aglaonema Bamboo. And there are 2 plants in here, the big guy and the little guy down here. And a dead leaf. Get rid of him later. Okay, that's the counter cabinet. And then over here, I have this lovely centerpiece that my niece bought for me. And it's got inner variegated spider plant, some polka dot plants. These are white, these are pink. I think there's red in here too. Yep, red. And this cute little fern who's getting crispy. Ferns are so hard. Well, we try. That's all we can do. And then, of course, this lovely poinsettia on top. And a lot of my Christmas decor is poinsettias. Naturally, I'm a houseplant person, so it's lovely, and I love it. So, you can see there are some poinsettias over there on my garland up the stairs. This little doorbell guy with berries and frosted pines. A poinsettia table runner over here with my little cardinal and my candles. Some poinsettias over here in a wreath. So over here we got my money tree, and this one's doing great. Likes being in this window, or patio door rather. And I did unbraid this so that the trunks would not fuse together, because I don't think, I have heard that that strangles off the tree. So it's been separated. And then in the bottom here is my little neon pothos I got as a free cutting. So hopefully he fills in the bottom. And then we got over here on the counter a bunch of stuff. This is a orchid. This is a dark purple with white edges. This is a mystery primulina who is blooming. What looks like is going to be a nice little purple or periwinkle flower. 2 of them actually. This is another orchid that is white with purple spots. This is I think it's a Christmas cactus, or it might be a Thanksgiving cactus, but I think it's variegated. Does that look variegated to you guys? I got this at Home Depot. Is this variegation or is it damage? Somebody help me, because it's not on all the leaves. And it's not at the base. Well, it is on that one. See, it's kind of at the base, right here. So somebody let me know, please, if I found a cool variegated cactus at Home Depot for $5, or if it's just sick and sad. And then lastly is my China doll tree. Let me take him out. There he is. A big guy. He desperately needs a pot. I really like China dolls, but I've had them get spider mites before. So we'll see. He's in a sad little pot and needs to be repotted desperately, and I don't know, it called to me. It called my name, so I bought it. Okay, we'll take a look in the living room. And here's the trees here in the corner. Here is my Majesty palm. He had to move over a little bit for the Christmas tree. And somehow all fall and winter has avoided getting spider mites, which is amazing. Looking great. Doing great. Took off some of the dead fronds that you can see kind of at the bottom here, because they do need to be pruned. And here is the, oops, get this dog bed out of the way. Here is the Christmas tree. And this is a 7.5 footer. A little star on top. So, you know, I guess that's a good height comparison. That's my Majesty palm next to my 7.5 foot Christmas tree. So that'll give you a little bit of scale for the palm. It's pretty big. And then my Chlorophytum fire flash is doing great over here. I've not had luck with these previously, but this one doing fantastic. Some more Christmas decor. Hi fishies. Aglanemas over here. This is a Silverado. No. Yes, this is a Silverado. Aglanema Silverado. This is Aglanema Stripes. Now, admittedly, this one's getting a little leggy, so I gotta do something with it. This is Indo Princess, Aglanema Indo Princess. She is doing fantastic. I love this plant. This is one of my favorites. This is Mystery Aglanema. I still don't know what this is called. If you guys know what it is, please leave me a comment. I don't have a clue what this one is. Aglanema Peacock. If you'll remember, I got this one as a cutting. The leaves were kind of curly and a little sad looking, but it's put out these 2 new leaves since, which are looking quite a bit better. Maybe I could take off some of these older leaves. But this one's doing all right. This one's a little saggy. And overall, plant's doing okay. So that's this corner over here. And we got this corner over here. This is a Lowe's Mystery Aglaonema. Again, if anyone knows what that is, please leave in the comments. I would love to know. This is Aglaonema Cutlass, and this one's doing fine. This one's Aglaonema Golden Madonna, and that one's doing great. Filling in nicely. Was kind of leggy before, but is really liking this sunnier spot. So she is filling in. This is another Mystery Lowe's Aglaonema. And you can see, look how tiny this new growth is. So unfortunately, this little booger is not getting enough light. I'm not sure what else I can do other than to stick her like directly next to the window. But I have her kind of right here by the window, so. And last but not least, this amazing guy. I got it at that awesome nursery in Tennessee. Signal Mountain Nursery. And this one's doing fantastic, and I love it. So if anyone knows what this variety is, let me know. Then over here, we have Caladium lindenii. Got this bad boy from Lowe's. And I absolutely adore this plant. This is one of my favorites for sure. I mean, just look at the leaves. These are newer leaves. They're not quite as dark, but oh, look at this. I love it. I love it, I love it. Now, I was really afraid with this being a caladium species, or a genus rather, that it was going to be as difficult to care for as caladiums, but so far no brown tips or temper tantrums or anything from this plant. So I highly recommend one of these. They're absolutely gorgeous. And I have my third and final Primulina in here. And I think this one is Zuan's Party Dress. Yeah, Zuan's Party Dress. And you might remember this guy from the bathroom. This is a blue star fern, but it's a, oh, I don't remember. I'm having a brain fart and I can't remember the cultivar. I'll put it on the bottom of the screen. It was not doing well in the bathroom. It had enough humidity. It did not have enough light. So he's sitting over here with some friends, trying to get some more light. I don't know if he's gonna be okay. He's got some crispy bits, and this new frond is all crisp. Oh, okay, that's what his new frond is doing. That's lovely. I don't know. Kind of bummed, but ferns do not like me. I like them, they don't like me. Then we have this bromeliad over here. I can't remember what kind. I will put it on the bottom. But it bloomed. And that's the bloom. So this mother plant is gonna die soon. And when she gives us a pup off the bottom here someplace, we will take him off and start her again. Then we have my oldest house plant, my oldest fiddly fig, who is, I measured it in the last video, 9 foot 5 inches tall, 6 years old. In the bottom here is some, I think pearls and jade pothos, which is not doing well. I don't know, it hates me. It's trying, but I don't know what's happening over here. Then we have over here Aglaonema chocolate. She could use a little more light to get these pink stripes out. I might have to move this plant. And it is blooming. This is a new leaf, this little doodad. This is a flower. Okay. Then we have down here a rescue Hoya australis lisa. All the leaves were turning black and falling off because the person I bought it from had it sitting outside in like 50-degree weather and it was just not good. But now it seems to be doing okay, which I'm really happy about because I really like that plant. And over here we have Anthurium pedatum. No, it's Pedato radiatum. And he's putting out a new little guy right here. And the tiger is keeping an eye on him. And under here is my Easter cactus, who I've had since Easter time. This one's doing great. And under here is a baby from that mystery Primulina. I gave this to my mom to look after, and look how big this thing is. Looks amazing. So good job, Mom, if you're watching this, which hopefully you are. So this plant looks great. Doing okay down here. Now you might be saying, how are they getting any light down there? And the secret is that in the afternoon, the sun actually comes all the way across from over here and hits those plants in the bottom. All right. And then over here we have Philodendron mayoi on a moss pole. And that was something to put together, but it's doing really well, as you can see. The secret I learned from another YouTuber, Sydney Plant Guy. Great videos, so thank you for that. You have to put these little roots toward the moss, and I actually had to turn a whole bunch of these vines around so that they were facing the right way, so that they could climb, like this little guy right here, so they could climb up the moss pole. You can see the leaves are getting more mature. Needs watered really bad, but looking good. Then I have my Aspidistra Milky Way. I actually took like half this plant off because it was getting so humongous, which, you know, I'm not complaining, that's a good thing. And I do love this plant. That's a particular favorite of mine. So that's the corner over here. And then we have Santa and the reindeer. Those are both from Home Depot. Santa is a 6-foot animatronic, and the reindeer is an animatronic as well. This blanket is not the blanket that comes on it. It looks like that, but I kind of don't. I like the green better, so I'm gonna do some crafting and make that blanket green instead of red and white, because this is just plastic, but this is nice and fuzzy. So here's Santa in the corner watching over my houseplants. Thank you, Santa. And his little friend, the reindeer. And then we have the fireplace over here, and another dog bed. And of course, my doggy stockings. And that's what all that looks like. A couple of sparkly trees, some silver deer, a stocking for Barlow and Lizzie, and my nutcrackers. I don't know why I have a thing for nutcrackers. I can't explain it, but I love them. So that's that. And over here we have a variegated cast iron plant, who until very recently was covered in spider mites, but I think I got them all. It seems to be doing better. Unfortunately, his friend over here is covered in spider mites. This is a philodendron warso. Ugh, I can't pronounce it. I couldn't pronounce it last time either. I'll put it on the bottom. I don't know. This leaf is dead. This leaf is like burned. See how it's white? And then I thought to myself, okay, but why? Because this plant was looking fantastic. And it is. It's covered in spider mites. I shouldn't be touching it. So when we're done with this video, I gotta deal with that. Which is a shame, because I do really like that plant a lot, and it wasn't cheap. And we have over here Philodendron Brazil growing like absolute crazy in the bottom of this fiddly fig and filling up the bottom nicely, just like I hoped it would. Yep, that's what he's doing in there. And then this is my younger fiddly fig. This one is 5 years old and an inch taller than his brother. This one is 9'6". For those of you in metric, that's 290 centimeters. The other one is 287. And the plants that normally live on the mantle, these are my fern cactuses. They're just down here on the floor, soaking up the sun, growing a bunch of new leaves, and doing well. This one and this one. And then, not to be outdone by this fiddly fig over here, is my night blooming Sirius, who just keeps getting taller and taller and taller and growing more and more, whatever these are, little stems or offshoots or whatever. And then this guy, whatever this is, I accidentally broke it here, you see. Or no, I had it outside in the cold, and the tip got cold and turned black and fell off. But then he sprouted another and is still growing up. So you can see the tip of that is well above my head. My head is right about here. So all of that is above. So this will be a big plant one day. It loves this window. And then this is Dracaena White Aspen. This was a Lowe's find for 50 bucks. This is a lovely plant and doing well, enjoying its new spot in the south-facing window. And I did that because of all the white. So when you have a plant that has a lot of white variegation, you need to try to give it as much sun as you can. And I mean, you know, look outside. It's very dark outside, and it's only a little after 4. Last but not least in here is my other peace lily, Sensation. Bloom is turning green, that's old. Peace lily's doing fine. You can see it has a few smaller new leaves, but a lot of new leaves coming out. So it is liking its new spot by the door. And you will notice that my fishtail palm is not here by the door like it was in the last house tour. The fishtail palm was right here where the Dracaena White Aspen is, and that is because I could not save the fishtail palm. It was absolutely decimated by spider mites, and I did try to treat it for several weeks, and I actually even broke a pup off. Threw the rest of the plant away, broke off a pup, treated the pup, and then the pup got more spider mites. So I just, for the good of my other plants, I did throw it out. So that's what happened to the fishtail palm. Unfortunately, I did lose it. Okay guys, so that's the room with the Christmas stuff and the plants. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the Christmas decorations, the plant update. And if you're getting discouraged with your own plants, you know, during this winter season, just remember it's hard for everybody, you know, with the dry air and the low light. So just hang in there, do the best you can for your plants, and you know, spring's coming. So, all right, everybody, thanks for watching. Happy holidays, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks, bye. In case anybody wonders what the dogs are doing. Hi, doggies. Happy holidays, everybody.